Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Motivate Podcast Show. I'm your host, Rich Wall Street Williams. Man, I'm just so excited to really share information. Hopefully, this information you find to be of great value. I'm just really super excited. Got some really great things going on, but I just want to just jump on here real quick, take a few minutes of your time, and tell you a little bit about this Motivate and the concept and where it came from. At Motivate Podcast, we believe that believing that you can is way more profitable than believing that you can't. And so when I think about motivation, to me, motivation is something that you already have to have. It's something that's on the inside. It's an initial desire, it's a vision, it's an aspiration for something that you want to see happen in your life. And so what we do at Motivate is we provide the assistance to something that we believe that you already have. You know, what is motive? Motive is just basically the reason to do something. Motive is the reason to do something. And when you take the reason to do something and you add the reason to do something with aid is an assistant to an important person. You put those two things together, motivate then provides assistance in four key areas: faith, family, finance, and fitness. And so it's my desires with this Motivate podcast is my desire to produce twice a month a deep dive conversations, ordinary people who are doing ordinary things. I have some guests that I'm bringing on that are just basically sharing their story. They're local heroes, as I refer to them. They're sharing their stories. We'll go through discussions about family, relationship, marriages, dating, sex, and more. You know, it's straight talk for grown ears. That's what Motivate is really all about. And I'm super excited to share that content. I'm super excited to hear what our guests would be sharing. Conversations on faith, talking about our belief systems, our values, and practices. It's not who you believe, but what you believe and why. It's not who you believe, but what do you believe and why do you believe it? You know, I remember the story of a man that was mountain climbing, and he was climbing a mountain, and it got late, and the sky began to grow dark, and the wind began to blow, and it got cold, and he found himself stranded on the side of the mountain, and it was pitch black outside. And this gentleman is there hanging on for his dear life, and he yells out. He says, "Is there anyone out there?" A voice from above said, "Yes." He said, "Can you help me?" The voice above said, "Yes, I can. Let go of the rope." The guy thought about it for a couple of seconds, and he said, "Is there anyone else up there?" Right? The next day, they found the guy frozen to death, clinging onto the rope, and he was just 2 feet from safety. All he had to do was let go of the rope. They would have landed safely, and he could have walked and found shelter. And I think sometimes in our belief system get in the way of what we believe about ourselves, what we believe about our environment, what we believe about the vision that we have, what we believe about the aspirations, etc., that we have. And so it's not who you believe, but what do you believe and why do you believe what you believe? And so it's a deep dive when I talk about having a conversation of faith and belief system. We all have belief system. We all have values. Values are internal beliefs that each individual has that compels them to make decisions. So we discuss these belief systems. We look at these belief systems as it relates to money. You know, we have conversations about wealth building, about investing, about debt elimination, and next level finances. Is what doing working? It's the question that I ask as it relates to building wealth and investing in finance. And if not, why or why not? Why is it working or why isn't it working? You know, then we want to get around this barrier of what I call or refer to as excuses. Excuses are monuments of nothingness. Friend, they only build bridges to nowhere. So it is my desire with Motivate podcast to have conversations around the idea of faith, finance, fitness, and our faith. That's the desire. That's the goal. That's the end game. So at Motivate Podcast, we believe that believing that you can is way more profitable than believing that you can't. So let's get started.